President Biden has officially tested negative for COVID, and he got his doctor's approval to come out of isolation. Yes, which is great. It really is great. It's also the only positive approval he has at the moment, you know? But that's a start. That's a start. In economic news, the Federal Reserve has announced that it will be raising interest rates yet again to try and fight inflation. Yeah, so your ability to buy a house has gone from no chance to what part of no chance don't you understand? Oh, and in pandemic news, 2 new studies have concluded that COVID-19 almost certainly started at the Wuhan market. Yeah, and I'm so glad we have this information because, I mean, now it's clear what we have to do, right? We've got to build a time machine and go back in time 2 years and invest in Peloton because it's going to blow up when the pandemic hits. It's going to be huge. Make a lot of money. Seriously, what are we supposed to do with this information now? What are we going to do with that? It came from the Wuhan market. Well, I'm not buying my groceries there anymore. Cancel Instacart order. Oh, and finally, the jackpot for the Mega Millions lottery is now sitting at over $1 billion. Billion, which is like a week's worth of gas. And just by the way, can I just say how I love how people hate paying taxes, but if you think about it, a lottery is really just taxes, right? We all put our money into a thing, and then it goes to someone, and then everyone's like, yeah, this is fair, this is fair. But then if you say to everyone, let's take that money and put $1 billion into schools, everyone's like, taxes are bullshit, oh, I don't want to pay taxes, I don't. Then you're like, okay, let's all put our money in, and then one person gets it, everyone's like, yeah, this is great, this is fantastic, this is a fair system, I don't know why we don't all do it. Oh, actually, there's another thing. The Justice Department is now actively investigating Donald Trump's involvement in the plot to overturn the election. Yeah, another investigation. And I don't know, guys, at this point, I feel like the Justice Department is just going to have to dedicate an entire division to Trump. You know, just give him his own one. You know, like they'll have National Security Division, the Civil Rights Division, and then the what the hell did Donald Trump do now division. Because, you know, it's going to be a high-stress environment. It's basically going to sound like a fast food joint during the dinner rush. You know, it's just like, we got 2 tax evasions, we got 3 witness tamperings, we got a serving of corruption, and don't forget the porn star on the side. Come on! We got crimes, people. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. But anyway, let's move on to some of the bigger news stories of the day, starting with China. First name, made in. For decades now, the world has been worried about if or when China would choose to invade Taiwan. And the reason for this is that China has said that Taiwan is part of China. But they're out there in the streets acting like they're single. And because China knows that invading Taiwan could spark an international incident, they haven't done it, right? But since Russia invaded Ukraine and basically only got canceled on Twitter, it's been reported that the Chinese government thinks that now might be the perfect time to strike. Yeah, it's the same way I saw my friend Brian telling his mom to go to hell. And I thought, wow, that's a cool idea. I'm gonna go tell my mom off too. Yeah, that was the day I made the very painful discovery that my mom has a very different parenting style than Brian's mom. Very different. Anyway, Russia is basically Brian, right? And so China is preparing to take what they say is rightfully theirs. But it turns out if they want to get to Taiwan, they're going to need to go through Nancy Pelosi.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's plan to visit Taiwan has created a stir in both Beijing and Washington.
Tensions are running high between the U.S. and China amid talks of a visit by U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to Taiwan. U.S. officials are working to convince Pelosi of the diplomatic risks of her potential trip.
Beijing is furious over a potential trip by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to Taiwan. China sees the self-ruled island as a breakaway province that must be reunified with the mainland. Beijing is against any move that appears to acknowledge Taiwan as an independent country or makes the U.S. relationship more formal. And just yesterday, China's Defense Department urged the U.S. to cancel Pelosi's visit. The department spokesperson said, quote, if the U.S. insists on taking its own course, the Chinese military will never sit idly by.
God damn. Whoa, they make it sound like the Chinese military is just going to run over Nancy Pelosi with a tank, you know, completely destroy her. I mean, that would be good preparation for the midterms, but still, I don't know why she would go there. And I know what you're thinking right now. I know what you're thinking. You're like, why is Nancy Pelosi trying to provoke a war? Huh? Did she buy stock in bomb shelters last week? Hey, show some respect. Those other stock trades were just lucky guesses. No, the truth is Nancy Pelosi has been a big champion of Taiwanese independence for decades now. It's her thing. But this still is a big headache for Joe Biden. All right? Between inflation, Ukraine, gas prices, and the midterms, the man does not have time to get into a war with China. I mean, that's probably the reason COVID left him so quickly. The virus was like, my man, you're dealing with a bunch of shit right now. I'm a bounce, but I'll be back in a few weeks. I can do that now. You got to handle yourself. You know what Nancy's doing here? Because the administration is like, don't do it, Nancy. And Nancy's like, I'm going anyway. She's doing that classic thing where like drunk white women get into a fight on behalf of their men. You know that thing? Where they're just like, you know what? We're not gonna take this. My boyfriend's gonna kick your ass. And the boyfriend's like, no, Nancy, shut up, Nancy, this is China. It's like, I don't care. Yeah, my boyfriend knows karate. It's like, God damn it, Nancy, just get in the car. Get in the car, Nancy. No one wants a world war. Oh, and speaking of a potential world war, we should definitely talk about the battle that's brewing over Instagram. You know, the best app to see which of your high school friends are involved in pyramid schemes. If you've been on Instagram lately, you may have noticed that it sucks, right? Everything is an ad, and your feed is full of people you don't follow, which is so confusing. Yeah, because I'm scrolling, and I start reading someone's post, and I'm like, do I know this person? Was I supposed to be at this wedding? And then you look and it says, because you follow your friend, we thought you might like a post from a stranger. No, I don't. Like, it's a cute dress. Anyway, everyone's been complaining about Instagram, right? Everyone's been complaining, but they haven't been forced to respond until now because the royal family of Instagram has stepped into the fray.
Instagram is defending itself after users started complaining about changes to the social media platform. It all started Monday when Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian posted messages on Instagram saying, make Instagram Instagram again. Stop trying to be TikTok. Users appeared to have agreed, slamming Instagram for pushing more video content rather than pictures. CEO Adam Mosseri responded on Twitter saying the changes are designed to improve the user experience.
I do believe that more and more of Instagram is going to become video over time. We see this even if we change nothing.
Mosseri said the changes will help people discover new content, but he said users can turn off recommendations for 1 month if they don't like what's in their feed.
Yeah, that's right, people. You thought Instagram was for pictures of your friends. Well, that's over. Yeah, you were always bitching about brunch pics. Now you're going to be begging to see them. Be like, please, was it eggs? Was it avocado toast? I just want to know what my friends were eating. Too bad. You ain't never going to see your friends again. And it really sucks, man. It sucks because we choose who to follow for a reason. Now they're just going to switch it on us? You can't do that. You know? Like the 12 disciples were followers of Jesus, right? They chose Jesus. Can you imagine if one day someone was just like, today's sermon will be delivered by Ja Rule? And be like, no, wait, I wanted to hear from Jesus. Like, no, trust us, this will be better. Take it away, Ja Rule. Thou shalt always be there when thou calls. Thou shalt always be on time. And gave you my laws. Even worse, it seems like Instagram wants to get into the algorithm game. And that's what I'm worried about, because it's going to change everything. Because you see, the thing is, algorithms, they're only about engagement, right? They only feed you things that make you angry, make you sad, make you horny. And the problem with that is that it all happens within a few posts, so it's an emotional roller coaster. You know, it's just like, oh, I'm so mad about this random racist event, and I'm sad about all the poverty, and God damn, that ass is fine. Woo. But that ass voted for Trump! Ah! All right, that's it for today's headlines. Let's move on to something that everyone loves. It's time to check in on today's Lotto numbers with Dulce Sloan, everybody! Great to see you, Dulce. So good to see you. How are you doing today? How are you doing? What's happening in the lottery?
I'm very confused as to why I'm doing this lotto.
What? What do you mean?
There's $1 billion lotto that somebody's gonna win. Why am I doing this regular ass lotto? Like, you never told me why I'm doing, like, what do you win in this rinky dink ass lotto? I come in here every couple of weeks, read some American numbers, and then go to hell on about my business. What am I even here for?
Well, the reason you're here is because I'm trying to do
Winning $1 billion is too much money. That's super villain money. You hold a country ransom and ask for $1 billion. That's the kind of money that can ruin your life. Do you imagine a regular person just going into a 7-Eleven to get a Hot Pocket that's gonna be hot on the outside but cold on the inside? They already don't make good choices, and then they walk out a billionaire? Do you want Hot Pocket Kenny to be a billionaire? No, you don't. The best thing they can do is to just give 100 people $10 million. Yeah, that's like, that makes sense.
No, but why? Why?
Because that's like NFL money. You see what I'm saying? You buy your mama a house, you pay your homeboys rent for a year, and you're done. That's all you gotta do. Because just walking into a 7-Eleven and winning $1 billion is disrespectful to billionaires. Okay? We know what Oprah went through to become a billionaire. She hasn't had bread in years. Bezos worked off the back and bladders of his employees to get to be a billionaire and send a dick to space. And I'm just supposed to respect somebody who walked into a 7-Eleven, burned their mouth on a stale taquito, and now has more money than the gross national product of most countries? No, the disrespect. Because that man's not gonna do classy billionaire shit like put a boat in a boat. No, he's gonna. What? That's classy billionaire shit. You ain't seen the picture of the man parking a boat in his yacht?
So, okay, so what are they gonna do?
You know what he's gonna do. He's gonna put a trailer in a trailer. The rich don't need this. The Illuminati don't need this. The Illuminati don't need broke dicks showing up to their Illuminati sex party.
Okay, Dulce, please, just read my lotto numbers, please.
11. Listen. You know, I'm glad Biden's not sick anymore. 22. But what I want to know is what happened to the good old days when your president was sick and they didn't tell you? Didn't we have a president with polio? Do you know which one it was? Exactly. 48. You're not supposed to know that a president has a debilitating disease, okay? We are the most powerful country in the world. Everybody hates us, and we have all the guns, right? So if the man with the nuclear codes has his wife rubbing Vicks Vapor Rub on his chest, we're not supposed to know that. 2 and 7.
Okay, don't say, wait, where are you getting these numbers from?
Trevor, where are we getting the money from for this lotto? Don't ask questions if you don't want to answer questions. Now, Trevor, shouldn't you be saying thank you, Dulce Sloan?
Thank you, Dulce Sloan.